And let's talk something that did happen pretty much out of nowhere. Is kind of what happened was Paul Felder announced his retirement during the main card of UFC Vegas 27. Unfortunately, this means, Blake, I know you're a little sad because you wanted this fight. No more Paul Felder versus Tony Ferguson. So that's a casualty of this. But at the same time, man, he deserves a retirement like this. I have no problem with this. One hell of a career by this guy. And now he's just one of the best commentators in the game. So I think we still win here.
Yeah, no, it's sad, but it's not totally, the worst day. I always think back to that one little verbal altercation on, I think it was Twitter.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
that fan told him
Yes.
to stay retired. You're a better commentator than you are a fighter.
You say it to my
And
face.
then Paul said, "Would you say it to my face, though?" I think everyone knows that one, so we don't have to go into too much detail.
No, you kick my ass. I mean, still, that's always going to be good.
Yeah,
But,
Paul's definitely he's been a favorite of mine for a while. He just seems like a good dude who's just really wise and just really thinks out what he's gonna say and what he's doing, and he's just one of the good guys.
Yeah.
I wish we got to see him fight a couple more times, but man, the last few fights he had were there were some tough ones. So I don't blame him, man.
But he retires as the last guy to beat Charles Oliveira. So he gets. I loved his him in the postcard press conference. How we kind of talked a little smack to Charlie Olives. How he's never going to be able to get that fight back.
Yeah,
I love it.
Funny.
He's such a good guy. But his last two fights was a split decision loss to Dan Hooker, where personally I thought he won. That was also, you remember, that was in New a little bit of bias there, quite possibly. Then his
that one kind of hurt too, dude, because he was on a tear. He was like, he was getting close to getting that title shot.
And he won 5 of his last 6, only 5 being lost to be Mike Perry during that one hell of a fight,
which was a weight class up, so it wasn't even in his weight class.
Right, and so his last 5 lightweight fights were wins. Then he loses to his RDA in
short notice.
Another split decision loss on
short notice.
Was a 7-day fight.
It was something ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember how he looked, dude? It was scary.
Yeah, but man, Paul Felder, he's always going to be. He might not have been like a champion, but he's always going to be. He was that champion kind of guy, and so always going to love him. And then in honor of Paul Felder's retirement, I want to give you our top 3 favorite fights of Paul Felder. And so, Blake, let's go through this, you and I. Give me your first one.
So my first one would probably be his rematch versus Edson Barboza.
Oh, man. That was a good fight, right? That was a good-ass fight. For me, my first one is going to be Alex Ricci. This is back in 2017 where he got a performance bonus for a elbow that just would put anyone lights out. And then my next one, even though he lost this fight stands so vivid in my memory because this is kind of when I was first really getting invested to UFC. A couple of summers ago, this was a UFC,
June 2018, or no, maybe July.
July 2018. UFC 226. This was the first fight between Cormier and Miocic.
I remember because I was in Portland that week. It was good times.
That's right. But Paul Felder versus Mike Perry in such a bloody fight, in a really close decision. And one thing I remember most about this is that Paul Felder came out. He said he broke, and so he came out after he broke his arm during this fight. Broke his right arm, I believe. But even after he broke it, he threw 2 more spinning back fists with that same arm. Who does that?
Crazy.
Who does?
Paul Felder. The Irish Dragon.
Hey, the Irish, not even Irish, really kind of dragon. Remember that stuff with Connor? That was
the German Dragon or whatever. He's crazy.
Right.
But he tweeted him over the weekend. I think I saw he actually called him the Irish Dragon. Paid him some respect,
That's good. That's good. I like a humble Connor, but a humble with a little anger Connor. And what your next favorite fight?
I also really liked that James Vick fight where he, I think, punctured his, what was it? He punctured his lung, I think. Spleen or lung, something in that fight.
Punctured an organ.
Yeah, it was bad. So, I mean, another reason why you're not too surprised to see this retirement. I mean, dude's been through, hell and back. So.
Right. And then my favorite fight from him was his fight of the night, performance of the night bonus, Throw it back against Danny Castillo when he's still undefeated. This one, another Daniel Cormier card. This was UFC 182 back in 2015. Cormier versus John Jones. And I don't know. He's ended this with I think one of the 6 spinning back. No, I think it's 3 spinning back fist finishers in UFC history. It's something really rare. This is one of them. Landed a fat spinning back fist in the second round, finishing on the ground. This was just a Paul Felder bonus. Also, he had the kind of like mohawk mullet going on, so that was a good look on him as well.
So my other favorite fight for him would be his TKO with elbow finish over Charles Oliveira at UFC 218 in 2017. The last guy to beat the champ, so
and he knocked him the hell out.
Pretty cool. Knocked him out. Well, TKO'd him, but still.
He battered him with some elbows. Let's put that right, man. But
someone had to pull him off.
Hats off to Paul Felder in his fantastic career. I know he'll be seeing this, and so it just.
Oh yeah, he's a big fan.
Huge fan, the hugest.
Big fan of the show. He's a Patreon member.
Just reply to us on Twitter. That's all we want.